It's Tuesday, and the energy is the devil. A black-caped figure springs into the air. He wears red clothing and seems to be carrying a burdensome amount of grapes. Some of the fresh fruit drops to the ground below. Meanings: holding on to too much, escape from reality, taking it all with you. So this is a major card. It's a different kind of energy than yesterday. And perhaps today feels rather burdensome, restrictive. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities or obligations to attend to. Matters seem to be, cumbersome, moving slowly. Perhaps there's a connection to older people, authority figures, restrictive circumstances. Maybe, though, there's over-concern for the material or for money. Maybe you find yourself in an unhealthy attachment. And we get back to yesterday's Two of Cups. Now, this could be an obsession with someone, and maybe very sexual in nature. But it's that partnership where, again, maybe you're closing everyone off and you're obsessed with one another to the degree that it's unhealthy. Or maybe you're involved in a situation that is destructive. Perhaps it's the inability to control some kind of vice that you have, some negative habit. So you may feel chained to a circumstance, and it's some kind of habit or conditioning or pattern that is self-perpetuating. This is a self-imposed limitation, unless this is an abusive situation. So some of you are dealing with control issues, unhealthy attachments, unhappy choices, a refusal to leave a bad situation. Maybe you feel stuck, or you feel confined in some way. Maybe it's an addiction or an obsession with power, sex, money, or whatever it is that's keeping you in some form of bondage. So you may feel inhibited, or you may feel that you can't control your urges. Whatever it is, your survival instincts are at play. And the stronger your determination to get your way in a situation, the easier it's going to be for you to talk yourself and for others into whatever suits your purpose. So self-control is going to be a problem, whether that's a petty temptation, you're tempted by sweets or eating something or having a drink, or something more sinister, something more challenging. And it's going to be difficult to resist petty temptations, maybe even how you interact with other people. There's a temptation to, say something that you shouldn't say, or the temptation to seek revenge or strike out when you know that that's not the best thing to do. So your instincts for emotional, material gain are very strong, and those instincts can lead you in any manner of direction, right or wrong. Now, in the positive, you're maybe on top of things, and because of that, you encounter a couple of flashes of creative ingenuity about how to deal with something that, some strategy or brilliant idea that saves you in the nick of time. So you could have some good luck working for you. But this is a day where you really have to be careful about pushing your luck too far, overstepping your boundaries, and as a result, having to deal with the consequence of that. So using common sense to help you rein in your enthusiasm or your optimism about something is going to help you not take on more than you can handle, not put too much on your plate or bite off more than you can chew. Now, this card ties to Saturn, and Saturn is retrograde, and that's the very meaning of Saturn. What is it? What obligation do you have, responsibility that perhaps you really don't want? You're rethinking what your limitations are, where you should say no. And maybe you resent authority or someone, trying to control you at this time. So, you may very much desire to be recognized or achieve something, and your instincts are working for you in that respect. You easily see what other people bring to the party, what their intentions are, what the merit is. But you're also susceptible to procrastination, taking some foolish chances, taking too many risks, or behaving in a way that does more harm than good. And particularly if you have a strong desire to be desired. Maybe you want to help others. Maybe you want to be of service. And yet again, you're overextending yourself. You're saying you'll do something knowing that it's too much. Or you want to help, but you're afraid. There's fear, there's pessimism. You're afraid that you might be exploited, that if you give a little, they'll want a whole lot more, and that's a lot more than you're willing to invest. So this is about expectations, expecting too much from others, or people expecting too much from you. So you may be tempted to push beyond your limits, and in doing so, you end up making a mistake. And perhaps you feel like you can turn something around, a no-win situation, and you put a lot of energy into it, when in fact, it's a no-win situation. And this is also a card of being decent, doing the right thing, because those temptations can lead you to compromise your integrity, your ethics. You bend the rules a little bit because it suits your purpose, or you put a spin on things because it sounds better and it'll make it go down a lot easier for other people. So your sense of decency today is going to be tested, your sense of integrity, that desire for emotional or material gain is driving decisions. And today you want to make the right decisions. You want to not use people for selfish ends or your own material gain. And you also want to avoid being used.